Hey guys, I'm so sorry I haven't been able to post up more videos. A lot has been going on. Technically, it's just Wi-Fi problem. But I came up with an idea that I should just record a video, go to the library, and post it up on YouTube. Simple as that. But while I was away from the computer because of the lack of Wi-Fi, curse you Wi-Fi, um, technically I was reading a book called The Divine Comedy. It's actually a really good book if you haven't read it. Um, yeah, it's about a guy named Dante going through spiritual journeys just so he can save his soul to go to enter the kingdom of God. But I was more interested in the cantos, which is Italian for chapters, in hell. It's just, I don't know why. It's just interesting. But technically, I'll explain everything to you what goes on in during those chapters and during the sections, but I want to keep the video short, so I'll just explain everything just in a short manner. So technically, what happened is Dante is going through a journey. Well, not journey. He's traveling through a forest, which technically, in my opinion, well, in my theory, as far as I've read, the forest symbolizes great sins. Yeah, I don't know why, but it does. That's just what it is. As he was walking, he encountered a leopard. Yeah, a leopard. He just walked through it, and he was just walking and walking until he went up on some type of cliff, and he met up a lion. And Dante think that it was done for, and apparently Virgil saved his butt. And oh my gosh, I love this part so much. I don't know why. I love this part. Dante asked Virgil, "Are you a man?" And Virgil responds, I love this part. His response is, "Not man, though once I was," which technically it means I used to be alive, but as you can probably see, I'm not man anymore. Virgil, he's not an angel, but he's technically a ghost. Let me put it that way. He's technically a ghost. Um, Virgil explains that he was sent from God, well, God's angel, to help you because an angel named Beatrice pities Dante, so she asked Virgil to help him guide through hell, something like that. As they walk, a she-wolf encounters and blocks their path. Virgil's like, you know something? We gotta go. The gates of hell. We gotta go through hell because apparently she's not gonna let us go through. So that's what they did. Um, they went to the gates of hell, the gate of hell, which I think it says, "Abandon all ye who enters," something like that. And as they enter, they encounter sinners who in the life they were neutral, which means people that did not choose sides of anything. They just stay away. Apparently, their punishment is they are being chased by insects, which are wasps and bees. And if they dare to take a break or rest from running, they're going to be swarmed over by wasps and bees. Not very pretty sight. So they continue on and they enter limbo. Now, limbo is uh, technically one of the hells that people wish, or they want to be in because it is not great punishment there. Technically, they are just there, just in the meadow, doing nothing except talking to other souls that are there. Um, the only, the only, uh, the only punishment there is knowing the fact that you are ever going to have the salvation to enter the kingdom of God. That's the only punishment there. So technically, they just had to go through depression knowing that. And as Dante and Virgil keep walking, they meet up with King Minos, which he used to be the king of Crete. I think that's what it is. King Minos is this big guy sitting on some type of throne with a big snake. Technically, what King Minos is doing there is that he judges the soul. Um, I can just imagine what King Minos is doing right now. He's like, okay, people, I gotta get this over with. So you did this sin, so you have to go this type of section of hell. You over there, you did this type of sin, so you gotta come up with that punishment. Something like that. So King Minos let Dante and Virgil pass hell, well, the section, and the next section that they go to is the section of lust. Technically, in that circle, Dante sees sinners being blown away in some type of hurricane, like leaves. And Dante noticed that there is two couples holding together, and Dante asked them if they are allowed, why are they here, or something like that. And those two couples are called Francesca and Paolo. I believe that's what their name is. And Francesca explains that she betrayed her husband for his brother. She fell in love with her husband's brother, and therefore they committed betrayal. And how they got killed, I assumed her husband killed them both. And now they are forever being blown in the gust of the wind or hurricane or whatever you want to call it. Now they finish talking to those couple, they enter the circle of gluttony. Now, the reason why they are in that the reason why the sinners are in the circle of gluttony is because in life they take great unsatisfactory of their hunger and they keep eating. So their punishment there is they are laying on the mud like pigs and rained on some type of muck, an icy muck, and it's pretty gross. And as they walk in gluttony, they encounter Cerberus, which is the three-headed dog. But in the book, I don't know why Dante described it as the great worms. I guess it's because the Cerberus had a really long neck. But to me, they look like three-headed dogs to me. I'm pretty sure you can agree too that they look like three-headed dogs. Technically, I guess Cerberus was growling at them, trying to prevent them to going any further. So what Virgil did is that he picked up a big mud and shoved it right in Cerberus's mouth. And I guess Virgil's like, okay, it's done. He's eating. Let's go. So they leave gluttony and they enter the circle of avarice. If you don't know what avarice is technically greed. Greed, mine, it's all mine, something like that. They enter avarice, and what they see is that sinners are pushing a huge boulder-like sack of gold, and they are pushing the sack of gold up a mountain or a hill or something. And if the sack of gold rolls down the hill, the sinners have to go walk back down and roll it back up. That must be really frustrating. I mean, can you imagine you pulling up all the sack of gold and technically you're almost there? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make it, and it goes right back down. Great, I gotta go back at it. And they keep walking and they meet up some guy named Plutus, some type of beggar, I think. Dante asked Virgil who's that guy, and Virgil's like, never mind, just keep walking, don't give him anything. And after that, they enter the section, well, the circle of anger, which is sinners being um, in the some type of mud, a boiling mud, and there are some sinners that are underneath the sinners, and they're being boiled alive in agony. They had to cross over to enter the city of Dis. Uh, they encountered this. I forgot what his name is, but they had to enter a boat to cross over to get to the city of Dis. Now, as they were crossing, a sinner, I forgot his name again. It's really hard to remember the names that you don't know how to pronounce it. But he encountered this sinner, Dante encountered this sinner who apparently, this sinner knows Dante and apparently is angry at something. So he tries to attack Dante, but Virgil pushed him back to the mud, something. And as they finish rowing to the anger, they go to the city of Dis, which I believe great sins. I think this is the part. That's the part where a really serious sin starts going there. As they enter, they could not encounter. They could not enter the city of Dis because they were being blocked by demons, and they could not enter. But an angel, I believe is a messenger, came down and saved them by, I guess, shooing away the demons. And the gate opened and they enter. And as they enter, they go through the circle of heresy. Heresy is technically those who do not believe in the afterlife. Like, for example, when they were alive, they did not believe in the afterlife. They believed that, you die with a soul. You are buried alive, you just stay there. So the punishment is you are technically buried alive there. But since it's hell, why not? You are burned inside the tomb. I believe he met somebody there. I don't remember his name, but technically he was allowed to talk to Dante, talking about what he did in real life, so not real life, when he was alive. After they finish talking, they keep going to what circle they went to? Oh, violence. Now, there are 3 sections of violence. There's the violence to your neighbors, violence to yourself, and violence against God. Now, in the section of violence against your neighbor, technically was the first thing that's going to pop into your head is murder. Yeah, murder. That the punishment there in the when you committed murder, technically you are being boiled in blood because they shed the blood of the neighbors. They have to be forever bathed in the boiling blood. But when they, depending how many neighbors they killed, the sections of the level of blood you're going to be bathed in. Like, for example, if you only killed maybe 2 or 3 people, then the level of blood will probably be up to the knee. But if you killed like lots and lots of people, then the blood is like over your head, and yeah, not really pretty sight. To make it worse, if they to um, try to climb out or try to try to lean over the blood, there's a group of creatures called the minotaurs. What they do is that they walk around the pool of blood, and if they try to do anything, like they try to get out or they try to leap out of the position that they're supposed to be in, they shoot them with an arrow and make them go back to whatever. Even when you try to lift yourself up a little tiny bit, you're gonna be shot with an arrow. The next section they go to is the violence against yourself, which technically it means suicide, harming yourself. Yeah, duh. That section is called the Forest of Suicide, or Suicide. Yeah, Forest of Suicide. Uh, okay, bear with me with this punishment. If you ever kill yourself, technically you get turned into a tree. No, I'm serious. You get turned into a tree. Um, when you turn into a tree, technically, well, when sinners commit suicide, they get turned into a tree. They can't do anything except maybe talk a little. If that isn't bad enough, they are being tortured by harpies, which are mythological creatures that are half bird, half human, or half woman, whatever you want to call it. What the harpies do is they peck the trees, and they claw, they peck, and blood just seeps out. And that's pretty torturous, and that looks pretty painful. And as they leave that section of hell, they enter the the violence against God, which means they have blasphemers, solemners, uh, uh, using God's name in vain, something like that. Um, it's like when they enter there, it's like a huge desert. It's like like a huge desert, and they are rained on burning sands. And solemners, they travel in group. And blasphemers, they either lay on the floor or they wander by themselves. And as they wander by themselves, they meet up with Dante's mentor. I forgot his name, but I can imagine that it must be so awkward to meet your mentor in hell. This is how I imagine right now. Dante? Mentor? What are you doing here? Well, apparently I blasphemed against God, so yeah, I'm pretty much here. Dante, what are you doing here? Well, I'm just passing by, trying to save my soul and whatnot. Oh, why? Well, I don't want to go to hell. No offense. None taken, none taken. Um, so how you doing? Well, you can pretty much imagine what I'm doing. I'm in hell. Oh, yeah. Well, see ya. Bye. Yeah, that's how I imagine that's how it happened. Um, After they leave that circle, they meet up with this creature because after that, there's like a deep ditch, and they encounter this creature, Gayron, I think his name is. Uh, Apparently flew them all the way down to the next circle, which I forgot what it is called. It, I don't think it's any importance to read it. I think I'll have to read it again. The next circle they went to, which I remember, the ninth circle, which is the last one, is the greatest sin of all, which is treachery and betrayal. Yeah, I was pretty shocked too when I read it because I thought that murder was the greatest sin of all, and that would be the lower part. Nope, murder is actually not even close to the bottom. So as they enter there, there is, instead of hot flames, it's actually icy cold area um, where sinners are frozen in their own tears. And yeah, uh, they travel there and they meet up with the big guy, Lucifer. Yeah. Um, Believe it or not, Lucifer there is facing punishment there too. Why? Because he betrayed God himself, which is the ultimate sin of all, betraying God. So they explain of how why Lucifer is there. Um, he used to be God's angel, and apparently Lucifer betrayed God by trying to be all powerful, something like that. So what happened is he was sent in the book. It explained that God sent Lucifer all the way down to earth, and it explains how hell was created. That this is earth, this is Lucifer. It plunged down and all the way to the center of the earth, and because of that section, there's like a purgatory was created, the mountain of purgatory. And apparently, in that section of hell, Lucifer is flapping his big wings, which could explain why everything was so cold and just really, really cold. And technically, um, Dante described Lucifer in tears, but in some illustration, Lucifer looked like he's pretty damn bored. Yeah. And when they got closer, Lucifer has three heads, which they are chewing, which I forgot which one of them was they were chewing on, but I know in the center they were chewing, the Lucifer was chewing the center, Judas Iscariot. You can pretty much guess why Judas Iscariot is being chewed, and this is why in that section of hell, because Judas betrayed Jesus, and that is a big sin. And there's Judas right there. And I don't know how much to explain that section of hell, but in order to go to purgatory, they have to go through Lucifer. Yeah, crazy, I know. So they had to climb down against Lucifer's fur or something. And I don't know how to explain this, but they turn around as they climb and they entered a pathway to purgatory. And that's pretty much it for Inferno. I know I missed a lot. I am so, so, so sorry. I really, really am. But that's all I remember the section of hell. But hey, people keep mentioning there are 9 sections of hell. I listed 9 sections of hell. And that's pretty much what I've been reading when I was bored. So I hope you guys enjoyed this blog. I'm sorry if it seemed long. I try to make it short as much as I can. I'll try to make more videos as much as I can. I promise you, you will see more of me. So that's pretty much it. And if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.